thankfully, we've been joined on the phone by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Godfred Dame, here on the Midday News. We're indeed grateful for your time. So really, what will be the explanation, at least from what my colleague tells me? There was a notice that was served at the Foreign Ministry, duly received by the Foreign Minister. Why did we not put up a defense?
Well, thank you very much, Emefa. Good afternoon. I think it's very important to put things in proper perspective. The first point to note is that this arbitral award was entered in January 2021, long before I was even nominated as Attorney General. I was on the Attorney of the Day. Second point is that when arbitral awards are entered, they are final. It is not like a judgment of a court or a judgment of a high court, which can be appealed against. So indeed, the entry of the arbitral award in 2021 implied that there had been a final judgment against the government of Ghana, and the government of Ghana was obliged to pay.
Just for clarity, just for a quick clarity, Mr. Dame. Just a quick clarity, Mr. Dame. You mentioned that
by Mr. Kobna-Donko to claim the Attorney of the Day, Godfred Dame. In fact, I think you even mentioned it. The Attorney of the Day, Godfred Dame, and all that. It's totally misplaced.
So that's what I'm asking. You say that you were not the Attorney General in January 2021. You were the deputy, correct?
After the entry of the arbitral award, which is final, the only obligation left is for the state, which is the judgment debtor, to pay. So it is a failure of the government of Ghana to pay this judgment debt entered in January 2021, which has led to repeated applications in various courts by GPDC. You remember that about some few months ago, our High Commissioner to England, Papa Wiswankuma, was actually on radio on your network lamenting the seizure of some assets and all that. And that was settled in such a way that the assets were released from attachment. The government of Ghana subsequently paid some amount of money, but it was not in full settlement of the judgment debt. So the judgment debt is still outstanding. So the explanation for the failure to pay now does not lie with the Attorney General. It lies with the Minister of Finance. It is actually a matter between Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy. And as far as I'm concerned, any role to play by the Attorney General did not happen in my time or tenure as Attorney General. So really, the only obligation left is to pay. It's for the Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy to negotiate means of paying the judgment debt. It's the same thing. It is not a new judgment debt for people to now scream as if, with all respect, I had defaulted on any duty at all. In my tenure as Attorney General, there has not been a single judgment debt. That's a matter of record, a matter of significance. Okay. Many a time, the NDC are quick to say that, all those achievements are nothing. Indeed, recently, when the ENI claim first for $7 billion, and which was reduced to $950 million, was thrown out by the tribunal. They wished it away as nothing. That was nothing. Can you imagine what the nation would have lost if $950 million had been inflicted on the nation? Even 134 million we are struggling to pay. So indeed, these accomplishments for me are very significant.
Now, Mr. Dame, if you would also listen, at least let's put some of the issues in perspective. You mentioned that at least the first one, which is in January 2021, you were not the Attorney General, but you were at the Attorney General's office. At least you were the deputy.
I was not January 2021. I ceased to be okay. At the time the judgment was entered on 21st January 2021. I ceased to be Deputy Attorney General.
Okay.
And I was not even a public officer.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. Now, this particular case in the US was filed in January 2024. Can you explain why we did not settle the UK judgment debt such that interest was accrued?
For the Minister of Finance, with all respect, to come up with funds to pay the judgment debt once it's been entered. And there has been a default on the part of the Minister of Finance to come up with the funds. It's as simple as that. And if you owe somebody money and you do not pay, the person will find means of extracting payment from you. So it is those processes that are being engaged in now.
So this particular one, which was filed in January 2024, you still did not have any powers to be able to prevent what happened that is happening now?
Definitely not, because, as I said, an arbitral award entered. It's final. It is not appealable. It's not like an ordinary judgment of a court which can be appealed against for you to say you are appealing and that kind of thing. So the only obligation is for you to pay. If you go and hire lawyers, you only be incurring further expenses, because the judgment debt is still a judgment debt. And indeed, government of Ghana has actually paid part of it. So what's the point in further contesting the award long after it has been entered 4 years ago?
Okay, so then for you are rejecting the claims made by the former power minister that indeed you have questions to answer.
They are totally baseless. It's not for me for me to answer any question. Indeed, if there's any question to be answered, it is those who entered into the kind of energy agreement in 2015, which resulted in the judgment debt. Because if you look at the terms of the agreement entered in 2015, they were so bad that a default on the part of the government of Ghana exposed the government to greater liability than even the sum that was repaid under the contract. So why would any government enter into such an agreement? That is the more important question. So if they want to conduct any probe, it will actually lead to those questions being answered. Why the public officers of the day would negotiate a power agreement in which the terms of termination will expose the government to even greater liability than the sum payable under the contract.
But finally, before I let you off, though, you may not have been the Attorney General when this all started, but I'm sure you're aware that you inherit assets and liabilities as a public official.
Yes, of course. I mean, so yes, but I'm saying yes, and so the award was final. And my duty would be to ensure that the Minister of Finance pays, and indeed, the Minister of Finance has not paid. I'm not the Minister for Finance, with all respect.
And you moved. Did you make any moves as such to ensure that the Finance Ministry pays?
Your network reported various steps that were engaged in to pay. Some few months ago, you even reported a statement by Papa Wiswankuma as well as the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and I think even the Deputy Attorney General and all that. These are matters of record.
Okay.
So it's not for us to bring
and matters of record also. Were you in court to defend the case at arbitration as a deputy?
I am saying that.
Were you, sir?
Oh, but with all respect, yes, I was part of the team. So yes, I mean, so now you're setting the goalposts from Godfred Dame's default as Attorney General to some matters that occurred before he was appointed as Attorney General. I think all these attempts, with all respect, to help mad as my reputation will not stick. Because the record will show that in my tenure as Attorney General, there has not been a single judgment debt. Indeed, the claims have been very huge, billions of dollars, billions of Ghana cedis and all that. There are some still pending. And all these were on account of agreements entered into in the NDC period.
Okay.
Before 2017.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us. That's the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Godfred Dame.